No disrespect to the Jags, but I think this is the week where we're going to see that defense that we've seen last year. Schwartz is going to get his guys in order, and old Goldilocks down there, Justin Lawrence, is going to be spending most of the day running for his life. But I'm going to go with my Browns over the Jags.
I feel for you with the Browns because once you have disruption in a room like they have and they've lost faith in their leader, it doesn't matter. So if they were to somehow find a way to let even the backup have a chance, you might have a repeat of what you saw with Joe Flacco last year. I was very sad that he left because
I was too.
I felt like he had found a home there, and he would have been more than okay being a backup. He
Mm-hmm.
never really wanted to be a starter. He is just so grateful to have had that opportunity and have, Cleveland embrace him with so much love. It was amazing to see. It was kind of like a Cinderella story. He was what? Sitting on the couch,
Yeah.
throwing balls with his dad, and the next thing he gets a call because everyone was injured. I'm noticing this year though it's becoming more and more of a running game so far in
Yeah.
one yeah, but that can
Well,
change on the time.
and Cleveland has a nice receiving core with Amari Cooper leading the way. And now, granted, last week he did drop a couple crucial passes that could have been a game changer in the game. Um, but you got Amari Cooper. We just added Jerry Judy. We've got Bell. They just added Kadarius Toney, which I'm up in the air. I mean, I don't know how I feel about Toney. He was good with the Giants. He was kind of non-existent with the Chiefs. What are we going to get out of him? And we've got that young kid out of Tennessee that we drafted, Thrasher, and I think he's going to be down the road once he settles into an NFL role. I think he's going to be an absolute force to be dealt with as a receiver. And then we got Njoku. He's out this week with an injury, but King and Njoku, there's plenty of options to throw the ball to in Cleveland, and I'm agreeing. I'm over the Watson experiment, and at this point, I wouldn't be upset seeing Jameson Winston come in there and eat some W's. you know,
And I hear that he is really liked.
I hear JMO's a pretty good guy. People like him in the locker room.
And
So
I've heard that he is they've embraced him and he's fine. It's just I think once you lose respect of the room, it's really hard to get it back.
yeah. So
Yeah.
who you going with there, Bathurst? The Jags or the Browns? Nice, Rob.
I'm gonna say the Jags. I think it's going to be tight. The Jags showed signs of greatness for about 3 quarters and then
Yeah.
kind of fell off. But we forget that a lot of this is conditioning. And if you have an older team and you've got a bunch of old guys like myself, and I'm 61, I'm not saying, but if you're older even by 5 years, by the time you're into the second, third quarter, you're gassed. You're
Yeah.
absolutely gassed. The young guys, though, they heal faster and they run on adrenaline better. It's kind of like when we used to go out and drink. I just saw someone pop up and pop out.
That would be Cam.
Trying to hook up my AirPods.
Yeah.
So I shared this with my YouTube. So that's okay, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. I like to support it the best I can.
Oh God. Oh man. Speaking of being old, I'm going to learn the hard way. Sitting on the floor is not a good idea.
Okay, and I just saved it on Twitter as well. So
I appreciate that. Appreciate that.
yeah.
So what's your thoughts on the Browns Jags, Derek?
I'm the same. I think it's going to be close. It's going to be tight, but I'm going to go Jags. I feel like Trevor Lawrence is just a better quarterback right now, so that's the only thing I
Oh
can
yeah,
really say.
he's definitely the
Yeah,
better out of the two.
right.
Going into week two. Cam, Cam, real quick. Titans and Jets. Who you got?
Jets.
Man, I'm lone wolfing it here. Jags and Browns.
Browns.
Okay. Yeah, I'm lone wolfing. I'm the only one who believes in the Titans.
I
No,
mean,
you're
I don't
not,
fully
though.
believe in the Jets, but
You're not, though. A lot of analysts really like the Titans this year. Their odds.
Yeah,
I don't believe it the same way that you and Tony D do. And Derek, I'm telling you right now, I think you'd be a better quarterback for the Browns than. And I haven't even seen you throw a ball.
I could probably command a little more respect in the room.
You got the look.
yeah.
You know, he looks like half the football players that I watch in interviews.
Yeah, just give me some pads.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
you
there you
got
go.
the accent. You got the accent. Yeah.
You could either be a quarterback or a NASCAR driver, one of the two, with the accent.
another left turn.
Yeah. Panthers Chargers. Cam, I know that's
Let's
I know
go. I'm playing. Hey, we're gonna lose by 40, but Panthers till I die, baby. Let's go.
So are you picking the Chargers or the Panthers?
Panthers. I got to do it, man. We're at
Oh,
home,
man.
so we'll see. It ain't gonna
What
matter.
about-
Our whole 5,000
Yeah,
fans that'll be there.
That's
What's your
an
thoughts
easy
on the
pick for me.
Panthers?
Chargers. Yeah, Chargers for sure.
Why?
I said it. I said it in Tony D's live earlier. Belt Kings Fantasy Football. They're live before us on Sundays. They were talking about the Panthers. I said, A, the Panthers are a dumpster fire. And B, I wouldn't put any of their players in my starting lineup on fantasy football. Obviously, it's going to be an easy day for the Chargers and Justin Herbert. What about you, Mike?
I totally disagree.
Oh,
And I'll tell you why. The Chargers right now are in such disarray, and I'm even sensing a little bit of frustration because the system has changed so much. You have an explosive quarterback who's used to throwing 300 yards a game. He was limited to like 150. The system works, right? Like run the ball, make sure that you have the ball longer than your opponent and wear them down. They had no points up until I think the fourth quarter. It was awful. And what they do is they slowly wear you out. Neither of those teams are stacked when it comes to defense. They're a mess. But the great thing is it's going to be entertaining. And I think it's going to be a high scoring game. I really do. And the teams that can run the ball effectively will do okay. But this is anybody's game. So I disagree. The Chargers, as much as I like the story, they're a bit of a dumpster fire as well. If you look at what they gave up this year, their key pieces, it was almost like they purposely burnt the grass to see if it would grow back better. Thank you.
yeah. Well, they got the new coach up there, and being a Michigan fan, Harbaugh is doing exactly what he did in Michigan. At Michigan, they're going to build a defense, but he focuses on the run game. For being a quarterback guy, he focuses on the run game, and they picked up two good running backs out of Baltimore, J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards. So they're going to beat you to death on the field. They're going to run you. They're absolutely going to beat your defense to death on the field. So are you leaning towards? Are you picking the Panthers in that one, or?
Oh hell no! But it's still going to be it's still the Chargers. Yeah, I'm not suicidal, but but I wouldn't bet the farm. But if it was, a spread where it was close, I might go with the Panthers. And don't be shocked if somehow they win. It is going to be close. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I just don't. They're
Panthers
not
by 7.
Yeah. So
Panthers by 7.
Yeah, you think the Panthers have got 7 on them, eh? So you're thinking Bryce Young is going to wake from his slumber, and he was
I
taken.
don't blame it all on Bryce.
No, I
I
don't either.
blame it on Bryce because he still, regardless, has to have the maturity. So I think it's partially that, but he can't get comfortable, and he's a small guy, and he knows that he's dead anytime that his line fucks up.
Let's
Yeah,
be real. In anybody in this league, whatever size they are, unless you're Cam Newton in your prime, you're in trouble. They're out to get you. Yeah,
yeah.
we could talk about this for days. Even
Yeah,
though,
yeah.
yeah. Derek, what do you think?
Oh, I'm definitely going Chargers.
Man, you know what? Screw all you guys, man. I needed a little bit of help, okay?
I did. I gave you a
But-
little help. I give you a little help.
But, you know,
Cam, did the Panthers play the Broncos at any point this season?
I can't remember. Why? You're going to take the Panthers?
Yeah, I'll take the Panthers. Speaking of the Denver Broncos, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers. Justin Fields leading them again this week against the Denver Broncos.
Oh,
man, first and foremost, I can't stand the Broncos. They've been bad for the last few years. And it pains me to pick the Steelers for a second week in a row. The Steelers are kind of a sleepy team to watch. Nothing against them. Watts is impressive as all get out, as always. But I think they're kind of missing that explosiveness, that dynamic player. And I think Justin Fields brings that. But I'm going to the Steelers over the Broncos all day. And I don't care if they got to rely on the foot of Boswell again to get the victory. Because, well, that'd be great for Nikki's fantasy football team if Boswell gets another 20 points in fantasy football. But yeah, I'm going Pittsburgh. I feel bad for Bo Nix. He didn't look bad last week though. I'll give him credit over the Seahawks, even though they took an L. Bo Nix coming in his first season, he didn't look too bad. But, I'm going Steelers over the Broncos. What about you, Mike?
Personally, if I use my logical brain, I'm going to go with the Steelers. But if I go with my emotional, intuitive side, don't underestimate the Denver Broncos this year. Bo Nix has the ability to be, in the next couple of years, I think, a first-tier quarterback, as long as he doesn't get hurt. I think today we're going to see Cortland Sutton do well. He'll get some production. And also Josh Reynolds. They can also, if they get lucky enough, here's the thing, and people don't realize this. The Steelers win with field goals. If you study it, they win with field goals. And they win by, guess what? Interceptions, taking it. They can't. They're not an offensive team. They're not. And I'm sorry, they got two quarterbacks that are kind of in progress. You know, I think if you could take both of them and use the skill sets into one person, you'd have a great quarterback.
Oh yeah.
You know, would you agree with that, or is that craziness?
Oh no, that's what I was saying earlier about Pittsburgh keeping Russ for a year or two, or a couple of years, keeping Fields for a year, or keeping Fields on the bench. Let him learn from Russ. You know, in Russ's prime, he was fantastic. He was one of the best out there in his prime. You know, he'd be a hell of a teacher for Fields. And the great thing about Pittsburgh, and we all know this as football fans, whether you love Pittsburgh or you hate Pittsburgh, once they lock in on a player, that player is typically there for life. You know, they don't go anywhere else. So Fields could find a home in Pittsburgh and learn from Russ for a season or two. Russ retires, Fields steps up, and he's there for the next 10, 15 years doing his thing. And you can kind of get that hybrid of Russ and Fields together if he learns from him and takes that knowledge to heart.
Personally, I wish what would happen is they would bring Fields in on third down and let him scare the crap out of everyone, you know, because if you give him a seam like Lamar Jackson, he's gone. Is he the brightest quarterback in the league? No. Does he make kind of immature mistakes? Yes. Does he have moments where he looks like he could take over the league and have a great highlight reel? Yes, he does. He's still very fast. His arm is okay, but that team is a work in progress. They got a great coach. They've got a good system. Don't underestimate Denver. I think you'll be shocked this year how well they'll do. So I'm going with Denver, and we're talking 3 to 7 points.
A lot of, yeah. I think early games, a lot of close games. What about you, Derek? What's your thoughts and opinions?
I'd have to flip a coin on that game, but I'm I'm gonna go Steelers. I just think they got a better defense.
Well, I think that's ultimately what it comes down to when you play the Steelers.
Right.
Is that like Michael said, it's their defense is taking the ball away. They're scoring. I seen that defense live and in person last year from front row right behind their bench, and that is a scary looking defense. For me being a Browns fan, that is a scary defense, and guys that have played together for a while now, and they click, and they're in that same. They got their rhythm and flow, man. That's a force to be reckoned with, and I hate that we have to play them twice a year. What about you, Cameron?
Steelers.
Steelers.
Why?
I like the Steelers. That's my second team. So,
And why do you like them?
family friend played for them. So,
Okay, so do you like the coaching? Do you like the system?
no, I've just
Did-
always pulled for them since I was little. My grandparents went to church with Willie Parker, so I always
I did ask, didn't I?
always kind of. I mean, I just pull for them. I mean, just like the Panthers. I mean, I've always pulled for them, even though we're ass.
Yeah. I sense you're a straight shooter, Cam. You don't pull punches. You're just you say it like it is. You're not gonna candy coat anything. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a man of few words.
You know
he lets
what?
his
Oh,
actions speak for him.
yeah, for himself. Okay, so are we on to the next game? What are we doing?
Yeah, we got Saints and Cowboys.
Oh, I like this
what
game.
you thinking, Derek?
Yeah, I feel like he was just saying, man, this should be a good game. Man, it's tough to say, man, after watching the Cowboys last week, even though it was the Browns, and it's like they're kind of like us, though. Like they like to shoot themselves in the foot. Like they can be so good and show up and then just throw the game away. But I think there's a lot more continuity in Dallas, so I'm gonna go with the Cowboys.
Cowboys. What about you, Mike? What you thinking?
I think it's going to be an upset. I think this might be a really good year as long as people again can stay healthy. Don't underestimate, Derek Carr. He's got a bullet of a motherfucking arm. Like he can really.
Whoa, got Mike dropping the F-bomb.
No, but he does. He still has laser precision. I was shocked how hard he could throw the ball. Now, even Aaron, last week, there was a couple times there where he really, I was like, oh, he's still got something. It's not just throw it in the basket. He's still got some power. And I'll tell you, don't underestimate that defense. Don't underestimate that running game. And they are so, what's the word? Deep in tradition. And they've done better. If you look historically over the last 15 years, done far better in the playoffs than the lovely Cowboys.
Yeah, 100%.
And the Cowboys are wonderful with teams that are less than 500 or around 500. They can play some bully ball. But if you have, and the thing with the Saints is they're not afraid to spend money. Now, they've spent some really stupid money over the years. But I really think this year, and I've said this before on Bell King, sort of to do a drop there, but that this is going to be a year where it's going to be mostly teams that won 10, 9, 10, 11, 10. It's not going to be this 14, 12. There's just too much going on in the sense of it's very violent. I don't know if you've noticed this game is violent. And people are getting hurt a lot.
Yeah.
Like if you looked at the injury list of Miami last week, it was ridiculous. It was ready.
I mean, you look at the injury list from any of the games. I know Cleveland had a few players go out last week. Like Dallas had a couple. Across the board, you just look at the. If you're a fantasy football player, look at your squad, check them. You still got a couple minutes. Get them checked because there's a lot.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of injuries out there. Cam, what you thinking? Saints and Cowboys. Who you got?
I'm gonna take the Saints.
Can I ask why?
Well, obviously, I know the Cowboys are not the Panthers, but
that sounds
I don't know,
like a
man.
great. I think that would sell well.
The Saints look like I don't know, man. They just connect really good. Or I feel like they're going to be a NFC South team to beat.
He looked 10 years younger last game.
Yeah,
so I don't know if he was jacked on something, but he looked great.
And I tell you who's reliable too, and that's Taysom Hill. He's so versatile, man. They can put him in at QB and
Swiss Army
running back.
Football players, man.
Yeah, dude.
I love him.
Tight end, wide receiver. He's everywhere.
He's exciting. Yeah.
He is, but he's getting older. He's 36 years old now.
Yeah, he's getting up there in age, and that'll start to show, especially with as versatile as he is. That'll start to show real quick.
Derek, how old are you?
I'm 42.
42. You don't look a day over 36. So I was just saying, be sensitive.
Yeah. I'm looking for a contract.
I can look 36. And I can play like I'm 46.
Yeah, right. My heart says the Cowboys in this one. I think just because the defense is so stacked and they're gonna overpower the Saints. But my gut, and I always go with my gut, is the Saints. I don't think we should be sleeping on them, like you said, Mike. Don't sleep on the Saints. I think they're gonna have a surprising season. Fortunately for the Saints, or unfortunately, I don't know how you want to look at it. We'll get into that in the next picks. They are in the NFC South, which is kind of suspect. But I'm gonna roll with the Saints in that game. Derek's going to lone wolf with the Cowboys, America's team, quote unquote.
Can I just bring one point up? And I don't know this room, and I don't know you guys very well, but it almost feels like there is a respect in this room for the Cowboys. Like, and I go on a lot of shows now, different shows. I even go on a show that's based out of England, and they absolutely despise the Cowboys. And anytime that they can kick them in the kahunas, they will. Yeah. I've noticed that there is a form of respect. Are you guys Go ahead.
I don't like the Cowboys. I never have. But much like the Steelers, I can respect an organization. I think, say what you want to say about Jerry Jones. He has a way of putting money in the right place at the right time. That defense is scary good. They've been scary good for the last 3 or 4 seasons. The biggest downfall for the Cowboys is Dak. He's not reliable. He's not consistent. You don't know what Dak Prescott you're going to get from one Sunday to the next. Every Sunday.
Can I argue that?
I think he's colorblind.
Can I
well, that too.
Can I argue that for a moment?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you took him and you put him on the 49ers, he would be phenomenal. The problem is it's not just him. If you put Brock Purdy on on the Cowboys, it would be a mess. It would be a fucking mess. I'm sorry, it would be an absolute joke. He's got to be careful with Dobbs that's there. That
Yeah.
guy's bright. He is like brilliant. I don't mean like hi, I know how to do 5 times 5. I'm talking biochemist smart.
Yeah.
And he would be able to latch onto that system like nobody. And you don't have to be a wizard to do well in that position. It's like when they had the backup running back who was going through these massive holes. Even Derek, I think, could have got 50 yards. 50 yards with those holes, right? And
Yeah.
he could be screaming like, "Don't hit me hard."
Yeah.
I'll
It's
just
football.
go to the
Don't hit me
side.
hard.
Yeah, don't hit
Yeah.
me hard, please. I would be
Yeah.
like, "Mommy, help me. I think they're gonna kill me."
Yeah. No, like I said, I mean, you can hate the Cowboys all you want, but there's got to be a level of respect for the organization because they, for the most part, they are a consistent team. They and
I
their
heard you.
They
division's hit or miss.
consistently lose in the playoffs.
Yeah, they consistently lose in the playoffs. That's for sure. They get there though, but
Yeah.
and sometimes their division is tough. Sometimes not so much. Like this year, probably not so much, with the exception of Philly. I said at the beginning of the season, the NFC runs through San Francisco or Philadelphia. I think they're gonna manhandle the rest of the NFC. We'll go ahead and roll in here. Where the hell are we at? Buccaneers and the Lions. I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna roll with my boy Baker.
No way.
Baker's gonna keep
love
doing what
Baker
he
too.
does.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
I was so mad when Cleveland got rid of him, and I love that he had a good season last year, and that he rolled right back into it this week. I think it's a nice little slap in the face to the organization as a Cleveland Browns fan. But I love Baker Mayfield, and I like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I like Godwin. I like Edmonds. I like Otten, and I like their running back.
What a breath of freaking fresh air! I have gotten hit so much heat over the last year of like Baker Mayfield, and the Buccaneers I think are even better this year than they were last year, and there is great chemistry in amongst those receivers. So he's got bookends, and I'm telling you, Mike Evans is still a dominant force. Derek, what do you think?
Guy doesn't seem like he's aged at all.
Yeah. I feel like the Bucks. Again, man, with Detroit, I just don't ever trust them. They're another team that shoots himself in the foot. And I just, that's pretty much it. I think there's just more skilled players on the Tampa Bay, and I mean that's pretty much it. I'm just gonna go Tampa.
Tampa all day. What you thinking?
By how much?
Tampa Bay by how much? Let's go 9 points.
Oh God, you're crazy.
9 points.
You're crazy. Whatever you're on, I want double.
Yeah, right.
This is high quality H2O.
Yeah, I was going to say
more
Tampa.
than H2O in there if you think it's 9 points.
I was going to say Tampa by 14, but so I don't feel so bad now for saying that after.
Cam, what you
thinking?
I don't care about either team, but because I am in Detroit right now visiting family, I'm going Detroit.
Going the Lions.
I think this will come down to, and you guys are going to howl, this is going to come down to a field goal.
It's a good possibility. I mean, the Lions looked good last week, and their running game, Montgomery, he was the savior of Detroit last week. And that first drive in overtime, and it was Montgomery, end zone Montgomery. And I'm watching it, and I'm just like, that's impressive. That guy's an absolute monster. Colts and Green Bay. Who are you taking over there, Derek?
Colts. I don't think Jordan Love's playing, and I like Anthony Richardson. I mean, I hate to say that because they're in our division, and I don't like the Colts, but they're just a strong, good playing team right now. And Green Bay's got, they're a little bit of a mess too. I like Jordan Love and everything, but I don't trust him.
Yeah, no, I do like Anthony Richardson. I think he played good last week. But yeah, man, Green Bay without Jordan Love, I don't see him doing it. I'm going Colts as well. I ain't never mad when the Colts win a game at the end of the day. What you thinking over there, Mike?
I love the Colts. I love the story. I don't think you should ever underestimate Green Bay. I don't think Jordan Love is the only key piece there. They're a really talented young squad that really gel well together. They are a team that can wear you down defensively. They're the youngest squad, I think, in the league overall, if you do the average of the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
I love Anthony Richardson. I love that story. I love who he is. I think he's the new Cam Newton. I don't think he's as pompous. Whoa now, buddy. Whoa.
Not as arrogant. I give him that.
Yeah, well, and if I'm gonna stop. I just put the brakes on. I'm gonna stop. Yeah, so I'm gonna go with the Colts. But again, this is very conservative. I think it'll be within 3 to 7 points.
Yeah, I think it'll be a close game.
And I would not want to bet my life on this because I think, as most teams this year, everybody has the ability to win this year.
Yeah,
everybody, including a team called Carolina something Panthers, something like that. They were formerly known as the Dumpster Fire Crew, due to someone here in the room. Yeah.
I take full credit for that. They are a dumpster fire.
Cameron, I don't like the ownership, but okay, sorry.
I'm taking. Oh, I don't either. We need to get Jerry Richardson from the grave and just bring him back. Fuck Tepper. I'm going Green Bay at home.
Oh,
yeah, that's a very good point. That is a very good point. Yeah, a lot of cheeseheads.
Yeah, they get loud out there too.
They do.
San Francisco and Minnesota, obviously for obvious
I like
reasons.
This game.
Mm-hmm. I like this game. Don't sleep on the Vikings
game a lot.
Season. But I'm taking the 49ers just because they're just. I think the Vikings are just a little bit outmatched. Nothing against the Vikings. I think they're going to have a surprisingly good season this year, all things considered. I know they drafted JJ from Michigan. They thought they had their quarterback. He wound up getting hurt. But nothing against Minnesota. Any other team, any other week, I would probably take the Vikings. But this week against the Niners, I said it, the NFC goes through San Francisco, it goes through the Bay, and they're just outmatched on the field. There's better players, and San Francisco is gonna just do their thing, do what San Francisco does. So I'm going the Niners in that one. What about you, Mike? Niners?
I don't know. I don't know, and I'll tell you why. And I've been saying this for the last couple of weeks. The 49ers are old. They have a lot of pieces that are injured and currently injured. They don't do well when they lose a couple key pieces. There is all that drama that went on with the receivers. I think his name is Ayuk, and he looked rusty. He looked off step, and Purdy, as much as I like him as a person, I don't think he is as resilient as I'd like him to be. But I can say that about almost any quarterback right now. And to be the last pick and to do what he did, it's phenomenal. So if there was
I'll
to
be
be
done
an
in just a minute.
upset, this might be it. But I'm going to go 49ers by 9 points.
Nice.
And don't forget
you got?
McCaffrey's not playing.
Yeah, but but Mason stepped up and looked great last week.
Yeah.
For San Francisco's. But again, is that Mason being that good, or is it that offensive line?
Yeah, and them not knowing that guy either. You know,
Yeah.
it's always like that, man. When new guys come out that are talented, there's no tape on them. They come out, they play well, and it's over. It's almost like we talk about that overreaction from week one, you know, on the opposite end. It works the other way as well.
I disagree with that. I disagree with that. It's usually quarterbacks that scenario. That guy cuts like a knife. And he has deceptive speed, and I think they underestimated how hard it was to get him down. It reminds me of Puka Nacua when he first came in the league. They said he was slow, he was ineffective, nobody wanted him, and then people were trying to tackle him and went, "Holy fuck!" He's like trying to get someone who's 250 down, and he's clever. And I think anybody, including Derek here, could easily go, and I said this, 50, 60 yards with those holes. He's still got wheels, right? You know?
Oh, yeah.
You know, and if you pay him well and give him a good meal, he's willing to go.
That's right. I'll stretch these hammies out right now. I'm gonna take the Vikings just to be different, and just to pick the upset.
I like you.
Yeah.
That's I think that's brilliant. If you're going to go for an upset this year, I think this is one of them. And Minnesota has a history of somehow screwing with the 49ers. If you look historically, they seem to have their number. Yeah, it's weird.
100%. Who you taking, Cam? Vikings or not?
I don't trust Sam Darnold, so I'm going San Francisco.
He was surprisingly good.
You got Sam Darnold PTSD from when he was in Carolina,
yes.
don't
you? I had so much hope. He looked good on paper.
I think Darnold's one of those guys that has been underrated pretty much his whole career. He has moments where he looks really good, but then he has those moments where he looks bad. That's why I said, any other week, any other team, I would be right there with Derek. I'd be picking the Vikings. Don't sleep on the Vikings this season. I agree 100%. We got Seattle and New England going head to head out in Massachusetts, out in Foxborough. Cam, who you got, Seattle or the Pats?
I'm gonna go Seattle.
Sea chickens, huh?
I hate the Patriots. So.
Fair enough. What's your thoughts, Derek? Pats and Seahawks.
I mean, after the Patriots last week, it's hard to say, but I don't know if that's going to be the same Patriots that are playing this week. Man, it's just it's a tough one, but I'll just go Seahawks. I don't even think they'll win. I'm just going to go Seahawks anyway.
What's your thoughts, Mike?
I think the Seahawks this year will surprise people. I think they're going to do better than we anticipated. They're coached better than you think they should be. New England, though, is no slouch. They have a great system, and they can beat you by frustrating the shit out of you. They're really good at that. They can get in your brain, and they're kind of like having a tick. It's not good. But if they put Drake May in, I'll go with the Patriots. If they don't, I'm gonna go. Yeah, but if Drake May goes in, I'll do it. I why not? I'm crazy. And I'll even go 9 points. I'm
Hey.
I'm gonna be brave, like Derek, my new friend. There you go.
Yeah. Well, the Pats are starting Jacoby, and I got love for Jacoby Brissett. But I'm going to jump on the Cam train. I hate the Patriots, and Geno Smith, and you want to talk about a resurgence when he went to Seattle. That guy just, I don't know what it did, but it flipped a switch and it rejuvenated his career. I'm riding with the Seahawks in that one as well. This is going to be a dumpster fire of a game. Well, let's call a spade a spade. I don't think we could say anything nice about the Giants, and Washington's trying to do things. Washington and the Giants. I'm going with the Washington football team, or the Commanders, or the Redskins, or whatever they're calling themselves this year. I'm going Washington over the Giants. The Giants are a worse dumpster fire than even the Panthers.
Why? Why?
Well, the quarterback
Give me
situation
a
is
I
the
need
quarterback
a
situation is a joke.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Daniel Jones, but the guy's thrown more interceptions than touchdowns in his career. Singletary as a running back, he was never that spectacular. In Buffalo, maybe that was because Buffalo doesn't really do much with the running game when he was there. One highlight, if I was going to say something nice about the Giants, is Malik Nabers, the rookie the rookie wide receiver. I think that kid is going to be a monster in the NFL. Maybe not with the Giants, but and the Giants defense is just in complete disarray. I don't know if it's the ownership, the coaching, or what it is, but the Giants are a hot mess, and they have been the last couple years. And I know a lot of people are like, Daniel Jones this, Daniel Jones that. Yeah. I'm just not buying into the hype of Daniel Jones at this point. And
do you think it's an ownership problem as well? Because this has been going on for a while.
It very well could be. It could absolutely be an ownership problem. 100%. Hello, Suze. What are you doing?
See, we were talking about the Commanders. Here's a bold prediction. I think within 3 years they will be very competitive because they are run by an incredible group of people, and they will find a way.
Oh, absolutely. I absolutely think that the Redskins are doing the right things and making the right moves, or the Commanders. Sorry,
I miss that word too. That world. Yeah. I miss that world where it was okay. Like,
yeah, it was okay.
I think there was a team called the Blackhawks too in hockey. Do you guys remember that, or was that erased from my mind?
No, Chicago. I think they're still the Blackhawks. Yeah, Chicago Blackhawks.
Yeah. Oh, but that's not right. It's got okay. Let's not go there.
Yeah, well, the Indians are now the Guardians in baseball.
Well, you know what? I am part native, so I'll leave that alone.
Hey, Glick, do you have some quick picks for me? Because we're about to go out to eat.
Yeah, I mean, you can.
Washington. Where are you going eating? I want to know before you go.
I think just Buffalo Wild Wings.
Buffalo Wild Wings.
What's your picks on the Washington New York game? Washington Giants.
I'm gonna take Washington.
Washington. Vegas, Baltimore. Who you got?
Lamar. I'm going Baltimore.
Ravens. Cardinals, Rams. Who you got?
Cardinals who?
Cardinals, Rams.
I'm gonna take the Rams.
They're pretty beat up right now.
Yeah, they are. Bengals, Chiefs.
As much as it pains me to say, Chiefs.
Bears, Texans.
Texans.
And
they're
Falcons,
a team to look out for
Eagles.
this year.
Yeah, agreed. 100%.
Falcons, Eagles.
And then Thursday night game, we'll go ahead and make our pick for Thursday night's game. You got Patriots and Jets.
I'm gonna go Jets.
Oh, wow. Okay. There we go. All right. Get the hell out of here. We'll see you. Are you coming in tonight or tomorrow?
I'll let you know.
Okay, let me know.
Enjoy your
Harvey.
wings, buddy. If that's where you're going.
Alrighty.
See you later, Brett.
Derek,
Okay,
you,
so we-
you did some weird hand gesture there.